Hi everyone, and welcome to Brunch with Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, and I'm your host, BMR. And
this is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
Well,
yeah, I had to start laughing. I saw brunch. Brunch with Bigfoot, Michigan Rob.
He don't have an intro.
No, I don't guess he does on the show because he usually plays the music and then he just puts himself in. We did it all back.
Right.
We were supposed to just play music and then go in. Okay, we're bad.
Almost said script.
I just started laughing. I'm like, what am I watching?
Right? What time of day is this? Yeah.
I was like, I said, I'm looking at the video. What the? So now I know what I got to do.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, welcome everybody to Late Night Beyond BMR without BMR tonight.
Right. The new time.
Yeah, Robson morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't bode well for the Lions.
It's not looking that way.
No. And so we are giving him what do you call it when you
we're giving him the night off.
A sabbatical.
Yeah, well, what do you call it when you take off work for a
We're giving him a sick day.
Bereavement time.
There you
go. There we go. We're giving him some bereavement.
Yeah. So
well, we really don't have a topic for tonight. And we were bouncing stuff back and forth. And if I'm involved, it's not going to stay on the rails anyway. But I do know, is this the show that Rob does his news on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we can do that.
Okay. Well, if you can do that, you go right ahead because I don't have any news.
I got this covered.
Okay.
I does. So now I know he normally does.
Something bizarre.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's some funny stuff. There's some.
You know what I found really strange is, because I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. I catch glimpses of stuff on Facebook and the community pages in my area, Missouri. Do you know that there have been 3 children hit by vehicles just between yesterday and today in southern Missouri? 3.
That is insane.
That is insane. Mm-hmm. It is insane. And one child was crossing the street when the child got off the bus. That made big news.
That's awful.
Yeah. So,
did the children make it, I hope, or?
Yes. So yes, all 3 of them did make it. The one that got hit coming off the school bus, I have no idea. I have no idea. It was a teen driver that hit the child, and I'm like, okay, so as strange as that is, we need to watch our children, our grandchildren, and everything else, and maybe to reinforce to our teenage drivers, hey, get off the phone, pay attention, stay focused. It was just crazy. I don't know what was going on. I thought that was kind of bizarre today. I was like reading, reading through just the Facebook pages that I have of people that I know around, and 3 kids. 3.
Yeah, that's awful. That is awful. Yep. Those of you that are tuning in at wondering where BMR is, several said something. We gave him the night off tonight.
Yeah, he's in mourning.
Yeah, he is. So
He's taking his day of bereavement for the Lions.
Yeah, that he is. So it's all good. Tex, you have some news, you said?
Working on it. I found there is a okay, do y'all remember a while back? And this is not like weird, strange. Okay, I'm going to keep it light. Okay. But do y'all remember back a while back when Donnie and Monica and everybody was having, and Jason was having this whole pineapple on pizza thing. Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, pineapple on pizza, it will cost you $121 at a pizzeria whose owners loathe the topping.
I don't do pineapple on pizza either. I think that's disgusting.
Some pizzerias will go to greater lengths to discourage customers from ordering pizza with pineapple as a topping. Standout example might be in England, where the owners of a popular pizzeria are charging £100 for anyone who orders it. In Lupa Pizza in Norwich slapped the hefty price tag for Hawaiian pizza on its menu as listed on the food delivery service on Deliveroo. I guess that's their version of what do you call it? We got
DoorDash.
It's Deliveroo. The menu reads, yeah, for £100 you can have it. Order the champagne too. So yeah, that's I thought that was funny. I mean, it's definitely strange. I mean, people. Now here's one. There's a cucumber shortage in Iceland.
Cucumber shortage. Okay.
A cucumber shortage in Iceland because and they're blaming it on a TikTok craze. Yeah. A Canadian TikTok creator whose viral cucumber salad recipes have received millions of views. And what in the world is going on here? Shut up. Okay. Damn ads. Is being blamed for the cucumber salad recipe, is being blamed for a shortage of the vegetable, which it's not a vegetable, in Iceland, for the BBC reported.
Interesting. I like cucumbers, though. I like them with ranch.
I do not. I don't like anything about a cucumber or made from a cucumber.
I don't like pickles, but I like cucumbers.
I don't like pickles. I don't like cucumbers.
Yeah, I don't do pickles.
So yeah, but they're buying out these like young people are buying out all the cucumbers in Iceland.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, there's your new. I didn't. Okay.
Well, Jason made a good post here. He said something about TikTok being banned, and I got a notification. My son's girlfriend posted on Facebook tonight that her TikTok is gone now, and she screenshotted it, what it said, and I can read to you what it said. It says, I just lost it here. Let me get it. Let me pull it right up.
Oh, I've got it right up right now.
Yeah. And it just
says a law banning.
Go ahead.
A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the U.S. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned.
So what do y'all think about that? Because you know who it's ran by, don't you?
I don't really. I have a TikTok, but I don't really use it. I like Facebook Reels better.
TikTok is sanctioned and supposedly ran by, but I know it's sanctioned by the Chinese government.
It doesn't surprise me.
So think about who you're giving your information to. That just, I mean, outright. And they're the ones that just broke into the treasury.
Right. Yeah.
But,
interesting.
and a lot of people, like psychiatrists and psychologists and stuff are saying that the TikTok was made to alter our attention span.
Interesting.
Because we no longer we're developing a shorter attention span because of short videos after short videos after short videos after short video.
I could see that.
So, and if you look at the craze and the phenomenon, and every social platform has got their form of it. You've got YouTube Shorts, you've got the Reels, you've got the TikTok.
Instagram has it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Crazy.
So, yeah, and we're getting, because I look after stuff that is kind of hitting the YouTube news kind of thing going around, and all that kind of stuff. The new, I guess, the future of YouTube, they're saying, will be like pretty much short driven and AI.
Interesting.
They're really saying that content creators like ourselves are going to be forced out.
Interesting.
So,
well, I mean, that just means that basically that it won't exist, that it'll be just like one of them dead apps that, everybody doesn't use anymore because it just becomes to the point where it's just not helpful or useful or entertaining. So that's going to be one of those things where it's just they're just killing the app. So it won't matter.
That's just it. And it's not them killing the apps. They're just doing that's what's coming out, and that's what people are watching.
Well, here's the thing. Remember, like when MySpace was a thing? Everybody was all over MySpace, and now you don't see anything about MySpace. So maybe Facebook will be the same thing. It'll come and go, or YouTube. Who knows? There's always going to be something bigger and better.
It would not hurt my feelings in the least to see Facebook just go.
Yep.
I think Facebook is probably one of the top most evil inventions ever. And, and I feel the same thing about the internet. I believe it is at the same time, it is the best and worst invention we've ever had.
Yeah.
I really do.
I could see that. It's good. I like it because, like I reconnected with like old high school friends and, things like that. I like seeing pictures, like my family puts up and things like that. That I do like it for.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's, and I get that. It's just, I don't understand people having to tell everybody in the world what they're having for lunch, when they took a pee, when they did. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Why do people care?
They don't.
I just don't get it. And how many different ways can you make cucumber salad to make it go viral? I mean, come on.
Somebody watches it. So it only takes one person to watch it and it click and go on. Shoot, Brandi was she followed a lady one time. Talk about that one lady that did stories in her pajamas. Look how many followers she had.
Well, it was her sexy pajamas. I'm gonna have to say it was her sexy pajamas. Her sexy pajamas. Anyway, so yeah, she was on there and she was she just wasn't attractive. I'm gonna lay it all out there that this lady was probably in her late 60s, maybe early 70s.
And not that we're saying that's bad, because
but she was just really, really just not an attractive person.
Right.
And
not just her looks either, though. The things she said too wasn't attractive.
Right.
Yeah, she would just read out of books and then talk to, the people in chat and they were eating it up. And I'm like, I have no idea. And her videos are getting 85 to over 100,000 views. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't imagine doing a live on Facebook like that to just get those type of views, because it was right on the cusp of peekaboo, just right there. And I'm like, this is not attractive.
No.
And it wasn't entertaining.
But
so
somebody thought it was.
She's doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, well, I mean, you can only imagine who thought that was great.
Right.
And
my wife says
I
do what?
You're what?
My wife says she is so loud. I had it turned up. I hadn't turned it down yet.
Oh, who was loud? Me or Krista?
You.
Oh, I don't know. Should I fix my mic? I don't get it.
No, it was me. I had it turned up, and you come across real loud.
Oh, and anyway, so and that's crazy. I don't have a mic like y'all. That's like text does. That's funny. But I just couldn't imagine, like I said, putting myself out there on Facebook to, just to get views. I didn't like it. Mm-hmm. I thought it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I'm with you.
Well, I just thought, well, maybe if I get out there in my hat and pigtails and overalls and muck boots, if that'll work too. I mean, there's got to be an opening somewhere for that.
People
but
will.
There is.
Let me tell you. So I have. I was previously married, and my ex-husband had 4 kids that I raised, and then we had the 2 together. So there were 6 kids growing up, and I raised his 4. They lived with me full time. The one, his son, and Brandi knows this, he is a TikToker, and the kid makes buku bucks by walking around his house and talking to like anybody and everybody, just having weird conversations. And that's his job. He has 2 new cars. He's bought a new house, and that's his job. And there's people out there that actually give him money to do this stuff. It just amazes me, that people like this. And hence, I mean, Brad is not a bad kid at all by any means, but like this lady that Brandi was talking about, and then like my ex stepson, it's just like, and people, there's a market for it because people are watching it.
Yeah. And what I said about the overall things, I got to take that back, because there is a woman, an older woman, an attractive woman, everything else. And she gets on there, and I think it is on TikTok, and she does her whole show in overalls. Mm-hmm. And that's it. No shirt.
No shirt under the overalls?
No bra. Just, no shirt. No, just her overalls.
Wow.
And, she is very well endowed, proportionately, but very well endowed. And I'm just like, well, there goes my little niche, because I'd have to wear a shirt.
Yeah.
So, well, but a lot of people are going to lose money now because they are relying on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at this.
Well, we talk about topics. We don't just, that's my thing. Like, I know here's,
Yes.
but we have topics we talk about, and like when people, I can speak for Brandi and I, when they donate money to us, that is going to like get us to events and gas and things like that, hotels and stuff like that. But it's like the lady that Brandi was talking about, for instance, are people just giving her money because, I don't know.
She stands there in a robe and reads a book.
Right. So she doesn't do anything with it productive, I feel,
Cowboy, I was thinking the same damn thing you are. So is Tex going to do a show in overall?
And he could. And he could. He very well could. And get away with it. Yeah. They wouldn't even give us a strike for content. It would be just fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably more well endowed than either two of you ladies. So
so the people who making money on TikTok, I guess they've been laid off till further notice.
They have been laid off until further notice. Yes. And I'm sure that's not President Trump's first thing he's going to do when he gets into office. That's just not on the top 100.
Right.
Well, I mean, and it's like you were talking about, Krista, that kid, he's a TikToker and he's making money. There's people that make their living that way.
That's fine.
And this is going to severely affect them.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Bristol in chat says, I've seen the overall lady.
Mm-hmm.
And laughed. And laughed. Yes.
Right.
There is an overall lady. So, I mean, maybe that's why TikTok has been banned, because of the content. It is getting borderline crazy.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that I can put it.
Oh no!
Yeah,
there
wasn't any limits on it.
Yeah.
What, Donnie?
Did the Lions lose?
Last I saw, it was 45-28 with 7 minutes left.
Oh, wait, 45 them or the other team?
45-31 Washington.
Oh.
Oh
man.
Yeah. Kevin says they just lost. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're sorry, BMR.
Hey BMR, if you're watching this, get in here. We've got 8 shoulders to cry on.
No. He's good. He's
Stay
good.
where you're at. Have another beer.
Yep.
Cry in that beer, not on here. Thank you.
So Willow says the Supreme Court that ruled that TikTok is a threat to national security.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, it is owned by, China.
Yeah, the Chinese government is who runs it.
I've never used TikTok once because people would ask me, Donnie, why don't you use TikTok? Because I'm like, because I know who owns it. No.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple
or
as
maybe
that.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you guys were talking about Facebook being evil. I resent that. I love Facebook. What are you guys talking about? It's a paradise for like funny memes, cat videos, people like getting hurt doing really stupid things.
Yeah, you're right. But it's regulated too.
I love those things.
It is regulated.
Yeah.
A little overly regulated.
Mm-hmm.
And text, you know what isn't evil, by the way? Facebook Messenger. Just saying.
Because you can have Facebook Messenger without Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger is totally not evil. Can we agree, ladies?
Yes. I concur.
It's the evil part of Facebook, I swear.
Donnie, I invited you up here tonight. You're gonna go all over me like that? Is that because of the mistake I made earlier? Is that what it is? Did I butt hurt you that bad?
No, it's because every time I'm on Facebook Messenger and I'm talking to Brandi and Krista and everyone else, we're always like, this conversation always goes the same way. We're always like, how come no one's told Tex about Facebook Messenger? And they're like, we have. He just won't use it. He just refuses. But I'm just like, why? Why, Tex? That's what we all use.
That's my hill.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to get on Facebook. You don't have to be. You don't have to even be part of that. It's its own separate thing.
Oh my God!
Oh, here he comes.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Is he going?
I don't know. I'm not doing it.
Well, I'm not going to add him if he doesn't want to be added. He's the master of his own domain.
His own show, and we don't want to add it.
We're not big bleep.
How dare he do that? Something of that nature.
Right.
That word is obscene and crass.
And if you knew, I apologize.
Yeah.
And if we do, it's usually on Johnny Cho's show.
Yeah.
Right.
But you all y'all new folks out there, you need to know what the big red button is all about, because Donnie Cho was leaving. I believe it was my show, wasn't it, or was it the girl's show? It was my show, wasn't it?
It was
It
was your show. I think it was.
Yeah, he came.
Monica.
He popped into my show one night, and when he left, he ended the stream.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a habit.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
So
So you guys have us, and that's why now you see for yourself.
So
we're
we
putting it out there, but since he did,
yeah. So we tossed this back and forth backstage, and I do want to talk about it because it is a very interesting case. Herbert Richard Baumeister.
Mhm.
If you don't know this guy, he was born in 1947, but he was just your average businessman. Okay.
Mhm.
And well, he turned out not to be your average businessman.
Nope.
He's a resident of Indianapolis, suburb of Westfield, Indiana. He came under investigation for murdering over a dozen men in the early 90s.
Hmm.
And Keith, thank you very much.
I just put it up there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got that part.
See,
Where you been, Tex?
I was reading statistics on this guy.
You go right ahead. That's funny. That's too funny.
I see how this show's going to go already.
And I'm sober.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what
well, I
happens
am
when
too.
Rob leaves us with no topic, has no idea. I mean, calls off at the last minute, and we're just kind of left out here flailing like fish out of water.
Well, he kind of warned us that this might happen.
He did. He said if it got too crazy, he's probably going to be late. That's what he said.
Yep.
He didn't say he was going to be.
No, I
taking
knew what
the night
kind of
off,
shape.
but
I knew what kind of shape he was going to be.
Right? That's funny. Okay, go ahead, Tex.
So, for some reason, it's not letting me bring this guy's picture up. I guess he's too damn evil.
He is.
well, that's possible.
But so he was born in Indianapolis in 1947 to an anesthesiologist, a doctor.
Yep.
His childhood, and this is rare, was reportedly pretty normal. He began exhibiting antisocial behavior on the onset when he became an adolescent. His friends recalled his urophilia and how he used to ponder what it would be like. Now, I know, folks, this is not. what it would be like to taste human urine. He would also take enjoyment in taking a leak all over his teacher's desk and playing with dead animals.
Yeah, he's
His
sick. Of it.
behavior caused his father to have him submit to medical examinations, and he was subsequently diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and antisocial personality disorder. But he never received any further treatment. That's not good, folks. That's not good. He attended Indiana University for a semester and dropped out, but returned in '67. Now, that's the year I was born.
Go closer to your mic. You're cutting out.
Is that any better?
You're better.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with my mic. It's old. I may need a new one. He went through a series of jobs, which is normal for these kinds of people.
Yes.
They find it hard to hold a steady job for the most part, but there are exceptions to the rule. Gary Ridgway, for example, worked 30 years in the same spot. But as an adult, like I said, he went through a series of jobs marked by a strong work ethic, but his behavior became more and more bizarre. Now, he married in 1971, had 3 kids, and said he'd only been intimate 6 times in over 25 years of marriage. She never saw a husband nude, and 6 months after his marriage, he was committed to a psychiatric hospital by his father for 2 months. His wife said he was hurting and needed help. He eventually founded 2 successful stores, Save-A-Lot thrift stores. He is nicknamed, and y'all are probably going to recognize this more than you will his real name. He was also named the I-70 Strangler. So that may ring some bells for you. His victims were, he had somewhere between 11 and 24 plus victims. They don't know how many people he killed. Krista, would you like to chime in, or you want to wait till the haunted thing comes along?
You're fine. You're doing all right.
His victims ranged. They were mostly gay men or gay males. They range from age 15. Let's see. There's and I like to go over the victims because I think they should have their voice at least, be recognized. So you have 15-year-old Michael Sean Petrie. Maurice Allen Taylor was 22. Delvoyd Lee Baker was 14. Michael Andrew Mick Riley was 22. Edgar Allan Rotker was 17. 29-year-old Michael Allen Mike Glenn. 21-year-old James Boyd Robbins. 26-year-old Stephen Lynn Elliott. 32-year-old Clay Russell Boatman. 18-year-old Thomas Ray Clevenger. 42-year-old Otto Gary Becker. Now, in May of 1988, the family they purchased and moved to Fox Hollow Farm, 18 acres, built in 1978. And in 1994, his son had been playing in the family's wooded backyard when he found a complete, partially buried human skeleton. He explained to his family that it had been one of his father's dissecting skeletons that he used in med school or to teach. And he had it stored there in the garage and buried it in the garden later after he cleaned out the garage. June of 1996, investigators recovered the human bone fragments of at least 11 people buried in the woods at Fox Hollow. A new search on December 4th of 2022 found one bone and identified 20 additional locations that might have more remains buried under the ground. Only 8 people have been identified since the initial discovery. The additional 3 remains are still unidentified, although they are believed to be male and to have been victims of homicide. It's odd that we do not, well, and I guess because of the remains and the shape they were found, there's no method of homicide listed. They don't know how they were killed, which is odd, I think. The coroner's office has appealed to the public requesting anyone with missing family members from the mid-1980s to mid-1990s in the Indianapolis area to complete DNA tests in an effort to help identify the victims' remains. As of 2024, they were continuing an effort to identify, get this, nearly 10,000 portions of human remains recovered from an unknown number of victims at Fox Hollow Farm.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Now,
so
real quick, let me do this real quick, and then you can have it. Because
No,
I haven't said this. He killed himself after a warrant was issued after his arrest. He shot himself.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, there you go.
Yeah. Also, if anybody's interested, Brandi and I have a good friend, Richard Sept. He actually has a book out. He wrote on Fox Hollow Farm, and it's called The Haunting, or The Horrors of Fox Hollow Farm, Unraveling the History and Hauntings. So just a little plug out to Richard. He's actually attended our event before, Brandi? He's a good guy.
Yes, he has. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there. You need to reach out to him. I want him on Infamous Minds.
Well, you just give him a call, or we can hook you up with Richard.
Yes.
Actually, you'll be seeing him in March because he will be back at the Lone Star Paracon, I do believe.
Yes, he will.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So anyway, Fox Hollow Farms, I've seen many TV shows on it, and it's just an eerie place. Like his wife and children would like go out of town, and then that's when he would do his killings. And he would patrol and try and find men and bring them home. Well, the house is beautiful. He had an indoor pool. He had land, and there was even an apartment above his garage. And from what I've heard and seen, I actually haven't read Richard's book yet. Maybe we need to, Brandi. But
I don't have this. Well, he has so many books. Everybody, I mean, let's stop for a minute. He is a very accomplished author, and he has so many books out, and a lot of them are on hauntings or locations that are haunted, among other things. And so I'm trying to find the link, and I'll try to put it in chat.
Well, I have the link here for the Fox Hollow.
Yeah, go ahead and put that one in there.
I do have that.
And
but he would unalive these people, I guess. It's coming in chat under BMR. Yes, Chris Anderson is correct. Didn't he drown people in the pool? That's what I thought too. And it's said like people, the house had sold after he had been deceased and his wife moved out, the whole 9 yards, and another family moved in. Well, the pool area, I think the man, he was swimming in the pool and he felt his legs being pulled under the water. And apparently he wasn't the first one that's happened to. So I believe that the pool area is for sure haunted. And then also the area above the apartment, above the garage, is also haunted. Like it had been rented out before, and people can't keep tenants in it. Whoever owns the house, they can't keep tenants in there because of the hauntings. So, maybe he did kill people up there in the apartment too,
Well,
no.
Here it says, when his wife and children would leave for summer vacation, they believe that he would pick up young gay men at bars.
That's when he would do it.
And take them back and strangle them.
Yeah. Okay.
They believe he burned the bodies, pulverized the bones, and disposed most of them, of course, on the property.
Yeah, and it was always while his wife and children were away, because they had no clue, absolutely no clue what was going on, that he led this life, Could you imagine though? Think about this, guys. Like somebody that you think you know, you really don't know.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
Okay. So, but you know, you say that, Krista, but this man had so many red flags. The first one that should have known about him is his wife.
yeah. Why would she marry
You know, I mean,
somebody like that?
if you, yeah, if you're married to somebody for so many years, you have limited, intimate, times.
Yeah,
And you never have seen your spouse naked in all the years
25
you've been
years.
married.
Right.
Right. That would be a red flag.
I would agree. So
Because
Donna,
I mean,
yeah. I was say, Donna, you're awfully quiet on
it's
this.
a given.
Oh, I'm just listening.
Yeah, it's a given, that the men the first couple of years of marriage gonna run around in their undies. It's just a thing.
Right.
They're gonna run around in their undies.
Where's this farm at? I'm just curious.
Indiana, outside of Indianapolis.
Oh.
I did not run around in my undies. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you did.
No, I did not.
With just your wife.
It was butt naked or nothing.
Okay, well, all right. Butt naked or not. Yeah, there you go. But that's what I mean. I mean, that would get me thinking in my head, is there something wrong? Is there something psychologically wrong? Or what would be the problem where he would not, number one, be, I don't know, intimate with me, or, show his body to me? That would be a given in a marriage, I would think.
It is amazing to. Of course, we don't find all this stuff out till after the fact that these little, I say little, what do you call them? Quirks that these people had, and all of them to a T had something. But what's amazing is, and we've talked about this, me and Danielle's talked about this, the whole circle of violence and things, that it's amazing as to what you'll come to accept as normal. Okay. It's not just, the guys, it's the females too. These red flags that pop up, and women are very nurturing. They're fixers by nature. Okay.
All right.
You want to fix that person. Oh, he won't do it again. He said he apologized, that type of thing. And you get to where you just accept this, and you accept, it's the frog in the boiling pot of water thing. You're not hit with all this at one time. It's over a course of 25 years. And
right.
So you start to accept things that as your norm that are not norm.
Right.
Kids in these situations, and Krista, this, kids in these situations, they grow up thinking this stuff is normal.
Right.
Because I know you're very active in the foster care stuff. And this probably more so than any of us sitting here, that when these kids are raised up in that,
that's all they know.
They're surprised to find out, oh, wait a minute, this is not normal. So it's the same thing with this. To us, we're like, God, how did you not see that?
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we would have to dig deeper into that to find out, because they were married in what, 1967 or 71, right? So 1971 was right in the, the age of love and freeness and spiritual. And then you had the complete opposite side of the totally religious Christians.
Yeah.
So we had the, the two sides pretty much fighting each other. So if his wife was on the totally religious side, well, she might not see anything wrong with it.
Right.
because it wasn't acceptable in her household, or something like that, or she was just that, well, your husband's always right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she was taught, is the man's always right.
Yep, that was and you're right, especially back in the 60s and 50s. That was very accepted out there.
Yeah.
Like,
It wasn't just, everybody was hippies. That is incorrect. It was like there was two definite sides to that whole era.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
answer this question real quick, because Sparky's asked several times. Question for Blondes and Booze: using tools, apps, and the like, what do you think? And battery drain text, the battery drain on Bigfoot, like Richie had, is there a connection or just happenstance? I'm going to answer that real quick, and then we'll go back and talk about this.
Y'all want to talk about that first?
I mean, tools, honestly, you've heard Brandi and I say this a gazillion times. My opinion personally is I don't feel like you need to use any of the apps or even any kind of equipment. Your body will tell you everything you need to know when you go into a haunted location. So I don't use much, if any type of apps or any equipment or anything like that. So that's my 2 cents. You guys can answer that too.
Ladies first. Brandi, you got anything?
Well, yeah, I'm usually the one that does all the evidence stuff. So, now, is this pertaining to like a battery drain with a Bigfoot encounter? Is that what we're talking about? I'm not understanding the question.
I think
she's asking just in general.
Yeah, what tools you recommend to use out in the field, and 2, she's asking about battery drains when you're dealing with cryptids, basically.
Okay. Well, I've never had any battery drains with cryptids because I don't usually carry any equipment out there except for usually audio or video, which that's usually about it. Yeah. The equipment that I usually take out there, I highly recommend anything rechargeable. Anything that is rechargeable, everybody. I can't tell you this enough. I have spent so much money on batteries, it will break the bank. Battery drain in a lot of haunted locations, even out in the field, has happened. Now, whether it was cryptid related, I don't think so. I think it was more paranormal related. But like I said, you really don't need anything nowadays. Like the apps on your phone, I don't use those. Because if you sign up for one, you'll notice it'll say, hey, we would like to have access to your mic. Right. That's the first no-no. That's the first no-no. Because if it has access to your mic, then it can hear everything you're saying and then eventually repeat itself on the apps that you're trying to use. Right. We've talked about it several times. There was one time where we were to buy an ice machine and some ice dropped, and I was talking about how the ice machine dropped some ice and scared me because it was super loud. I was like, oh my gosh. I said, that ice machine made me jump. About 10 minutes later, the thing kept saying ice, 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 and that wasn't the first time that it happened, something like that.
Well,
it's
maybe
kind of
the
like
ghost understood the situation and was like, oh, watch out for that ice.
Absolutely not, Donnie. Absolutely not. Because you know how you can get on Facebook or on Google and you Google a pair of shoes, right?
Yeah.
Then you go on Facebook, and then the next thing you know, you start seeing all these ads for the same pair of shoes you just looked up on Google.
Yep.
It's the same concept, so I don't recommend any of the apps used on any type of cell phone. I recommend a different piece of equipment, such as a geophone or, of course, a spirit box of some sort, or, just all kinds of different stuff that are not connected to your cell phone.
And remember,
I hope
folks,
that
when
your
you're
question.
Investigating for ghosts, Ouija boards don't require batteries.
No,
they're eco-friendly.
They don't.
It's green ghost hunting technology.
I mean, I know a lot of people that use them during investigations. It's just not my
Yeah.
personal choice. I don't. But, you know, to each their own. If they know how to open them and close them, whatever. Who am I to say? You know?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have an honest opinion either way. I just, if you know what you're doing, same thing as I don't want you driving a car if you don't know how to drive.
Right.
Now I
There
will
you go.
tell you this: being out in the field, as far as looking for cryptids and that type of thing, we have experienced battery drain. We've experienced equipment malfunctions. But we tend to get also when we're out in the field, we tend to get paranormal evidence also.
Right.
Mhm.
I do not think that it is these creatures, critters, as I lovingly call them, affecting these electronic devices. Because I think just about every investigator I've ever talked to, as far as cryptids goes, has seen some type of orb or light, and while they're out in the field. Okay, some people have even come across portals. Okay, or in Brent's case, portholes. Now, the things that we've experienced, we've had night vision that were fully charged. We get out in the field, they're not just dead, they quit working. But they started working once we backed out of the space we were in. Okay. We've had lights go off, my headlamp and Amy's light, which was a different kind of light, went dark at the exact same time. I had to physically turn my light back on. And when she turned her light, which was like one of those 6x9 LED adjustable lights for cameras,
Mhm.
when she turned it back on, it was reversed. She could, because you can dial the intensity up and down, the brightness, and it was reversed
Mhm.
for some reason. So we've had equipment failures. We've had battery drains. Good example is the two bow hunters that we had come into camp one time. They were wanting to go check their trail cams, and it was through our camp. And they said, "Yeah, we keep losing our batteries. We're having to replace them every week." You folks, you can leave a trail cam out for a month regularly,
Longer. Longer.
or longer,
Mhm.
But they were having to replace these batteries every week, which is very unusual.
Mhm.
So I don't think it's these cryptids doing it.
Mhm.
And I'll say this, and I saw somebody, I'm not going to call you out in name, but I saw somebody was talking about Bigfoot using spirit boxes to communicate. Please, please, please be careful what you're communicating with.
Yeah.
Because Paranormal 101 spirits are going to lie to you. They know your mind. They know what you were looking for.
Mhm.
They will pretend to be what you want.
I've said that many times.
Yes. Please be careful. That's all I'm saying. I'm
Yep.
not saying
Right.
it
Exactly.
very well could be. They may have that ability. I've
Mhm.
yet to see proof of it, but I'm more concerned about what you're actually communicating with, and that goes for mind speak also. Just be mindful. That's all I'm telling you, and take precautions.
Yep.
So that's my 2
Well,
cents.
yeah. I mean, because Krista and I talk about it all the time when we talk about spirit boxes and things like that.
Mhm.
That the first spirit box was made by Frank Sumption. Frank Sumption made the spirit box not to talk to
Mhm.
ghosts, but to aliens.
Aliens. Yep.
Yeah, it was made with shortwave radio to see if they could get a message out to space to talk to aliens. And that's
Right.
exactly what it was made
Mhm.
for. And then all of a sudden it became like, hey, we're not communicating with aliens. We're actually communicating with spirits on Earth. So, I mean, it took some time for him to figure that out, but this is what's happening. That these are used to communicate with spirits.
Right.
Now, but you can't determine what spirit you're talking to. It doesn't matter if, you I don't know, using a Ouija board, you scribe for them, you just talk to them out of thin air, whatever you're doing, you don't know exactly who you're talking to.
Yep.
How could you? So it's always a good thing to be, like Tech said, to be careful, be prepared, stay protected.
Yep.
Yeah. Always. Always, always.
So go ahead, Krista. You were talking about the haunted places and stuff, and what are they running into out there at Fox?
Just I know the pool area. I'm trying to. My memory sucks, so it's been a while. But I know the apartment. Even like outside of the apartment, I think Lolo or somebody mentioned that in the woods area they're seeing figures and things like that. So it's just it's a place that people don't like. If they buy the house, they don't stay very long. So
Well, so are they? Do you know what kind of things they're running into? Or
just besides a full-bodied apparition, and I know there's they say there's a negative entity. Obviously, if it's trying to pull people underwater while they're swimming. But then again, you got to think. Look at this from a different way too. So, what if it's not a negative energy that is pulling people under the water? What if it's one of the victims' spirits trying to grasp to save,
trying to get help? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
So think about that.
Yeah, well, that right there, Krista, you just said it. How do you know?
You don't.
How do you know what you're dealing with? You don't.
Which goes back to what we were just talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Could it have been the predator? Absolutely. But could it have been a victim too? Yes. You don't know.
Well, and
Lolo says, I heard it was a victim trying to save himself. Very well could possibly be. Absolutely. When you guys see BMR comment in chat, it is actually not BMR. We have control. It's one of us four.
Yeah.
that are
we have hijacked
as BMR.
We've
So
hijacked his channel.
yeah. Somebody said
so we could be saying all kinds of crazy stuff, but you don't know which one of us it is.
All right.
So did you? I was looking at. I just got curious at serial killers in Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
and there's quite a few.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few.
Well, you got to figure that Gary, Indiana, is like one of the most notorious places in the United States.
Yeah.
For things happening that are illegal. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's always been a going joke about Gary, Indiana. Nobody knows where it's at, but it's notorious kind of thing. It's weird.
Yeah.
So these are serial killers at some point were active in their killing in the state of Indiana. You got Howard Allen, Herb Baumeister, Rudy Bladel, Charles Brandt, Eugene Britt, Alton Coleman, Dean Coral, Frank Davis, Larry Eiler, Cecil Henry Floyd, William Clyde Gibson, Bell Guinness, William Henry Hance, H.H. Holmes. Of course, the I-70 killer, I don't know why they put that on there. Leslie Irvin, Alfred Knapp, Will Lockett, William. Okay, that's the same person.
So these are all serial killers.
Yeah. Orville Lynn Majors, Eric Matthews. A lot of them are repeated. David Edward Mouse, Christopher Peterson, Pleasant Pruitt, Gary Radon, Rardon. Oh, that's weird. Charles Sinclair, Andrew Udurles, and Darren Dion Van.
Wow, that's a lot.
I know, right? It's like, wow.
Yeah.
And if you get curious, folks, look up your own state and see how many serial killers were active in your state.
I don't think I want to know. I'd just soon not know. There's probably a lot more in all of our states than we realize, you know.
Why don't we? Because I know you're curious.
Mm-hmm.
So, serial killers from Missouri.
Thanks.
You've actually got more than Indiana.
Great.
Now these aren't killers that were from Missouri. They were active and they killed in Missouri. Okay.
Gotcha.
So you got Edward J. Adams, Donald Birdsley, Robert Burdella, Terry Blair, Robert Eugene Brashers, Ray and Faye Copeland, Glennon Engelman, Joseph Paul Franklin, Bertha Gifford, Lorenzo Gilliard, James B. Grinder. No, that's a name for a serial killer. Charles Ray Hatcher, Boone Helm, Burt Leroy Hunter, Marvin Irvin, Ray Jackson, Daniel O. Jones, Robert Winsley Knighton, of course, the I-70 killer, Timothy Crogesier, Anthony Lorette, Jerry Little. And see, Jerry Little is I believe that's the same one. Is that Little? He had hundreds of victims. Gary Muhlenberg, Errol Nelson, Clifton Ray, John Edward Robinson, John Wesley Robinson, Tommy Lynn Sells, Charles Sinclair, Michael Singh, Edward Bates Soper, Wilford Stokes, Murray Travis, and Kenneth Williams.
Bunch of them.
Yep.
Yep, there's a bunch of them for sure. So I think all states have them, but
well, I think it's easy in Missouri because I mean we have two major highways that intersect in guess what? St. Louis. So I mean it's simple.
Yeah.
It's simple to be lost in the traffic. You know what I mean?
Well, we have I-70. That's a major interstate that goes right through the middle of the state, and then we also have Highway 44, which is the old Route 66 that goes through the state and across America too. So there's a major interstates that these people drive.
Well,
through.
55 is the major one. Yeah. Because it runs all the way down to Mississippi, all the way down. So, I mean, they have ways to get out and get lost in traffic. So they're not easily detected, just like somebody would be out on a 2-lane road out in the middle of the night, they're not easily detectable.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, the two that have the most are California and Texas.
There you go. There you go. But again, you know what though? You guys, I've been to Texas and I've seen your all's highways. You got a bunch of different major ones that go through too. So of course
you can get lost.
Because you got I-35 that goes from here to yonder and 20 the same way, and I mean that's the two major ones right there.
Oh, you got Highway 10 also that goes all the way through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That goes all the way to Florida. So,
but yeah, we've had 76 serial killers in Texas.
Wow.
And y'all, like Missouri, that y'all got 29, I think, or no, 34. And then California, can't forget California, 145.
Wow.
Does that surprise you?
No, not in the least. Hawaii's had 3, but that's not the least. It's not the least. North Dakota has 2.
So North Dakota sounds like a safe place to live.
Yeah.
Well, that's because most of the year you can't get out of your house. You're snowed in.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere.
That makes sense.
Right. Can't go anywhere.
John Temperine asked, Tex, how many in Pennsylvania? Can you answer?
Pennsylvania has quite the got 17.
Not bad.
17.
It's not great. None of it's great.
Maryland, which is this is because you've got Maryland's a small state, right? 15.
Wow.
15.
But there's a lot of people in Maryland too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can't leave BMR out. Michigan has 27.
That's not really a lot for Michigan though.
Especially all the weird crap that goes on in Michigan. Oh,
yeah.
God.
Wow. Missouri beat Michigan? Wow.
Yeah, tell him that and see what he's
Well,
first thing he's gonna think about is football.
Well, right. With Detroit,
Well, you would think it'd be easier for them to vacate the country before they had to have passports and all of that kind of stuff. Right. It used to be just a regular old stop. They ask you what you're doing, why you going to Canada, blah blah blah. It was just nothing. Now you have to have the passport and the whole 9 yards to get into Canada. But yeah, I could see where, California and Texas, because of the sheer size of the state, I could see that. Plus, in California, with everybody having, I guess, eccentric behaviors, that they would kind of like fit in. They would fit in better to have kind of an off kind of personality and all that kind of stuff. I could see that.
Yeah.
They could blend better. Just okay, so what would be like New York? I mean, because there's another melting pot right there.
Good question.
Grandizer, just if y'all want to look at it, he just shared a story that it's really bizarre. He says over on our Facebook page. So
okay.
I can't go look at it, so I have no idea what it is. Sparky's Paranormal says, so question, I use 2 Zoom H6s for my main evidence for ghost hunts. What do you guys use for your main gathering tool?
I don't. Nothing for me.
I have a Zoom. And I like to live listen. So I can live listen with my Zooms, but I don't particularly care for it because it is a 360. So 360 means that the hearing is all the way around you. And I don't like the fact is when I'm live listening, I don't know exactly where the noise is coming from. I can't pinpoint it. So I do use Olympus, which is a 180. So it goes out to my 2 sides and to the front. So then I can usually pinpoint where the noise is coming from. So that's why I use those.
Barbara says, that is also why I have bats, iron knives stashed all over the house, plus firearms.
Right.
Oh, Lord help the person that breaks in your house. I had something weird happen the other night here at the house again.
What was it?
My doorbell rang at 2 a.m.
Do you have a ring already?
Nobody caught on ring cam.
Yeah, nothing. Wow.
And it was not the ring cam. It was not the ring doorbell that went off. It was the actual doorbell that went off.
Huh.
Interesting.
I
think I'd disconnect that thing.
I'm like, here we go again.
Right.
I would disconnect that one and just let your ring cam. It's like, hey, you can't use that one. Got to use the other one.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that to force them.
I was actually sitting here in my office and it went off. I guess it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. I went, what the hell?
That's crazy.
Got up, looked.
Nothing.
Nobody. Ring cam didn't record anything. It didn't go off. The motion didn't set the motion sensor off. Nothing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Didn't even set the motion light off outside.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep. That's weird. I haven't had that. Lolo says text. Maybe it was a tiny little black-eyed child.
You never know, right?
Mm-hmm.
No.
You know what I use? I'm talking about main evidence gathering and stuff. I use my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And people crap at me for it.
You know, I use my phone a lot, honestly, when I'm doing video. But when I'm doing video for evidence, I'm always backing it up with audio. Always. I don't trust just one to capture it all. Our phone mics are not as sensitive as I'd like them to be. But I mean, your phone is a great tool because you can record, you can analyze, you can do all kinds of that right there in the field. So you don't have to, go home and put it on the computer and do all that kind of stuff. You can analyze it right there, which is a fantastic tool. But
it does make it easy to, like your cell phone, like for taking pictures in groups of 3 to 5. That does make it a lot easier for sure. And I will use my phone for that, but that's it. I mean, I personally, Brandi can attest, I don't really use equipment. Very rarely will I. Might throw a REM pod down. That'd be about it.
I enjoy using the cat balls.
Yeah, they're kind of cool.
But did you know that when we went to that event center and y'all using that's the first time I'd ever seen them used?
Really?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And we were watching them go off.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a cool story and we've gotten quite a few new people since we've talked about that last. And I think that story is just fascinating.
We can talk about that. We got a few minutes.
Yeah, there were so many elements to that. Why don't y'all the paranormal folks, y'all talk about this?
Well, anyway, so we had gone to the Alabama Bigfoot Conference, and it was held in the Cress, the Cress, KRESS Event Center. And that was in Anniston, Alabama. And anyway, so we had got to talk to the owners quite a bit, and they were fantastic guys. Anyway, one of them got talking about that they thought the place was haunted. So guess what? I just, I always have a bag, break it out. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening. And you could tell that the place had never been investigated because the spirits were having a hard time using equipment. They hadn't quite figured it out. And over time, it becomes easy and the second nature to them. But at this point, they were having fun with cat balls. I had brought cat balls and just laid them out different places in the one big ballroom that they had. And I laid them on a table and a chair and off to the side on the floor. And sure enough, they were going off. They were, just going off periodically. And, with cat balls, you have to physically move them.
And what was really cool about that one, there was just a few of us. There was us 3 here. Randy was there. Anita and the 2 owners of the Crest were there. And I think that was about it, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
And I mean, hats off to Anita. She's the one that arranged that because when she found out that it had never been investigated, she got us in there, which was awesome.
Right.
But y'all got, Krista, did you get, I know, was it, which one of you got, was it pinched?
Me.
Yeah. Because I know the night we did the investigation, Anita had gotten pinched.
Right.
But I don't want to jump to the next day yet.
Yeah.
But the most amazing thing to me was when y'all were downstairs and we swapped out and I went down by myself. Right. Nothing on the stairs. It was all that there was some cleaning stuff and everything piled up at the stacked up. No, it wasn't stacked up. It was really just sitting there at the bottom of the stairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went down in the basement by myself, and y'all come upstairs. And then when I came back upstairs, there was a can of what was it? A stainless steel cleaner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Sitting on like the second or third step from the landing going up. And it was sitting directly in the middle of the freaking stairs, standing up.
Yeah, I
And
caught it
nobody
on
had-
camera.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I got it on video. Yeah, it was sitting right there because we waited to ask you if you'd put that there because I
Right.
moved it out of the way so we could get up the stairs.
Yep. Yeah, that was quite a night, honestly. I mean,
It was.
it was pretty crazy actually. And there was, the main level where they do all the events, and then there was the upstairs, and then there's the basement that that they don't quite use right now.
Right.
So, but we had access to all of it.
Something happened in the women's restroom. What was
Yeah,
that?
I can tell you about that. That was that's how I really met Greg Ogles. Started talking to him. So I had went to use the women's restroom, and this was the next day. And I was in there, and the stall doors were moving. And I'm like, oh, hello, and by then, the night before we had been there. So I knew that there was something going on there. And so the stall doors were moving, and I walked out. I was actually coming to get Brandi. However, Greg Ogles was walking out of the men's bathroom. I'm like, hey, come here. And I drug him in the women's bathroom to look.
I bet Greg was like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on?
Well, yeah,
I don't
but I
know
got
you,
a story, another story about him. Yeah, I got another story about him. So, so the next day after we had that eventful night, the next day at the conference, I'm actually standing right next to you, Tex.
Mm-hmm.
And we were standing there talking, and then next thing you know, I get pinched, and I grabbed my arm and I said, "Ow!" And I'm looking to see if somebody pinched me, and nobody was there except for Tex, and there was no way that he could have pinched me and me not know that he had done it. And I had a little pinch mark on my arm from it, and that happened in it was right in the morning, broad daylight.
Yep.
That had happened. So after that, the day went on, and little things were happening. I mean, you could hear like whispering going on that there was nobody near me to be whispering, and
But
I
if
could
I
hear that.
remember correctly, that area where our vendor spot was,
Right.
where you got pinched, used to be like it was an ice cream shop or something.
Yeah, like a soda fountain.
Yes.
Soda fountain.
Yes.
And that's where that area was. So it was well used. Like that was a focal point of that building.
Well, right. And it was segregated.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right,
the side that we were on were for white people only. That was that side, that one. And the other side was for colored, is what they call it, colored. And
Back in
even
the
the
day, not
bathrooms,
when we were there. Just
not when we were there, but this was, the history on the thing.
it is
So-
Alabama, but hey, yeah.
Right. So you can even notice the bathrooms that the ones that weren't even in use anymore, they're still there, but they're not in use. You could tell there was a segregated bathroom situation going on. Very strange. The courthouse is located right out back behind this building that we were in. And right on the corner lot there is where they used to do the public hangings. They go straight from the jail right to the noose. It was right there.
Literally, it was right out the back door of that building.
Yeah.
Greg Ogles is in chat. Hey, we're talking about you.
Yeah. So yeah, that was located, right outside. I mean, you could look, and there it is. It's right there. You didn't have to walk very far to get to it.
So, and another thing that it wasn't just the cat balls going on. You had some bigger balls. that were, you had turned them off. They were light changing things that you had them sit on your table.
So no, what she's talking. Yeah, go ahead, Brandi. Talk about that.
Oh, go ahead, Krista. It was
They're
a ball.
They're pretty. Yeah, it was just a decorative thing that people who've ever seen our vendor spot, we have all kinds of things sitting out on our table, and it's like a ball, like a crystal ball, and it lights up and all that good stuff. And if I remember correctly, didn't it light up, but it wasn't plugged in?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't even have the
the
remote in my hand, and the only way to turn it on and off was through the remote. But the remote was laying down on the table, and I didn't have the ball on, and all of a sudden it just started turning on and changing colors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep. Greg says, yeah, I saw a shadow person with Brandi that night.
he did. He did. That night after the conference, Greg and I went downstairs, and I had my flashlight, and we were just looking around, and I had the flashlight kind of like right here at head level, and I'm kind of scanning around. Now down in the basement, they have like, oh gosh, just beautiful furniture. Gosh, you could have furnished 5 or 6 houses with what they had down there. It was just absolutely gorgeous. And it's for the venue, for the change in tables and things like that, depending on the event. But it's beautiful, by the way. So we're looking around, and I go around and I flick it around my face, and then I come back, and then Greg's like, wait. He goes, put your flashlight back. So I put my flashlight back real quick, and he said that he had saw a shadow person kind of peek itself around some boxes and things back there, and then go right back in.
Mm-hmm.
He saw it with his own 2 eyes. And I'm like, well, that's probably so. We've been hearing stuff down there for, the last 24 hours.
Yep. Because when I went down there, because I went down to the basement. When I went down to the basement, y'all came up. I went down by myself and sat down there. Went total dark, and I experienced some stuff down there. And then when I went back up, is when we started talking about the whole can moving thing, and somebody asked, "Did we ever figure out who moved it?" It wasn't us.
No.
It wasn't
absolutely
us.
not. I did not have enough time in that location to figure it out. Now, because that was a brand spanking new investigation on a location that has never been investigated before, that takes time. That you can't go in one night and get all your answers. You're not going to do it.
We could have spent a week in that place. I guarantee it.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Because we barely scratched the surface on that place. I know.
And I didn't even get to go outside.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what we would have got outside?
Yeah, because I wanted to get in that hanging house. I really wanted to get in there. But there's several buildings throughout that downtown Anniston that are said to be haunted.
I believe that.
Theater down the road is supposed to be real haunted. There's a couple other places. The courthouse itself is supposed to be haunted. And of course, the hanging house back there is supposed to be haunted, which doesn't surprise me in the least.
Right.
So Sparky, and I love this when somebody engages us asking these all kinds of questions. This is fantastic. So this leads into a great question. If they can move doors, turn on lights, can ghosts not use radios and static boxes? Yes, they can. I'm skeptical on all tools, but at times, can they not use everything? Absolutely. They can use whatever they want if they have the energy to do it. That's my
Mm-hmm.
It's all like I just said. It's kind of like you kind of have to teach them to use the equipment.
Yep.
They may not know what to do with it if you come in there and bring a box and just set it down and go, okay.
When you go to a new location that's not been investigated, like private cases like the Crest and that Emmaus Village that Brandi and I went to not that long ago, it's places like that the spirit, they don't know what they are. So, you have to explain to them, it's not going to hurt you. This is what it does, and
it's like, I can hear you better. And then I'll hold the piece of equipment up. And it's like, if it's just, my recorder, I'll be like, just talk right here to this orange button, and hopefully I'll be able to hear you. Da 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 da. So I mean, it's
go over it with them.
Yeah,
And-
that's basically it.
And I'll tell you what I like investigating with y'all is, and I know y'all talked about this a lot, but it's so true. Don't ask the normal questions that you see on these shows.
Mm-mm.
Ask different ones out of the blue. Like I think it's one of y'all's favorite questions. Do you like ice cream?
Yeah, I do the ice cream. I like peanut butter and jelly. Is one of my other ones. Sometimes, depending on where we're at, I'll ask about sports teams. Depending on what era we're dealing with. Depending on the house. Or the
we'll
property.
even ask, like heels or flats. That can give you a time frame.
Yeah. Instead of "Are you a man or a woman?" I'll say, "Do you like heels or do you wear flats?" And if I get a response, heels or flats, well, that automatically tells me right there that we're dealing with a woman. I don't have to ask that stupid question.
Right.
But I'm also asking an engaging question, like, what kind of flowers do you like? Or do you like diamonds or pearls? Or do you, just that sort of thing. Do you wear a belt or suspenders? Or, it's just that sort of thing to engage them in a conversation that is not mundane that everybody else asks. The infamous question is, do you know you're dead?
Or what year is it?
Oh yeah, what year
When
is it?
did you die?
Yeah, that's always my favorite.
We don't ask those.
Right.
You'll never hear us ask those.
I'm loading up some pictures from different places, a couple from the Hill House and that type of thing that we can talk about.
It's an hour and a half in, Tex.
Cool.
I'm tired.
Oh, you want to cut it off? We'll cut it off. We'll do that later.
You guys can keep going if you want to, but I'm gonna hop out here in a couple minutes.
Okay. Well, we'll because I think this is really an interesting conversation that it's kind of an all-encompassing paranormal conversation.
Yeah.
And we've got, honestly, between the three of us, we got a lot of evidence we can sit here and talk about from mutual investigations and everything.
Right.
Sure.
So, but yeah.
Maybe we'll have to set it up like on a Friday night with us, and we can go through it all.
Brandi still has the best paranormal picture out there.
I believe it's a once in a lifetime. There are a few other pictures that I find memorable, and I will always know who did it when I look at the picture.
Right.
But this one here is something fantastic because I've had some well-known people in the paranormal field say, you have got something right there. So I've got it like saved in 20,000 different spots and, on backup, so I'll never lose it again.
Well,
Ever.
I'll tell you what, let's shoot for the next time y'all don't have a guest.
Every Friday we don't have guests. Thursdays are our guest night. Friday nights aren't. We can do it this Friday. I have.
All right, we'll do
That'd
it
be
this Friday.
fun.
Because I'm going to tease y'all with this one. I'm going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to tease you with this one.
Yeah, there you go.
That's Brandi's hand and Brandi's car. But that ain't Brandi's handprint. Just going to say.
Nope.
And it's not Bigfoot either.
We've all got, we got this one too. So, yeah. If you're new, you want to find out what those pictures are about because they're fascinating stories, folks. We'll see you Friday.
Yep. Things that have happened to us. Yes.
Yeah. All righty. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and y'all be careful. And I will see you. What is today? Saturday?
Saturday, yes. Monday.
Yeah. I'll definitely see you. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yep. Brandi, you got to shoot too tomorrow.
Yep.
See y'all.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
This is the future. revolution. This is the future.